I am now live. Hello, everyone. Today is a special episode. We're going to be talking to Royal Skigi, aka Royal Banks, author of One Way. As usual, we start like 5 minutes early, get a good little warm up in. Ooh, I'm moving the camera a bit. My bad. I had to retire to my bedroom because they're using the den. So what can you do? But anyway, I'll ramble while I wait on Royal, and no, there he is. I'm gonna continue to ramble, and let me see, how on earth? Oh wait, I pressed this button, then I pressed that. Kablang! Right. So anyway, have you heard this? Have you heard this? Rush Limbaugh died. Oh, 70 years old to lung cancer. Oh hey,
What up, man?
how's it going? You caught me in the middle of talking about Rush Limbaugh. I don't take any particular joy in his death, but you got to admit there's a sigh of relief. Like, oof, you know,
it's ironic. That's all I gotta say.
he died in Black History Month.
Yeah, it's just the irony.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Nah, you good. You good, bro.
Man, got the
No,
fresh
it's just
shade.
yeah, the irony. And that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, but the first 5 minutes is just a warm up, man, testing connections. You know,
As it
that,
should
how's
be.
how's everything, man? How's PR school?
Hey, man. Almost about halfway done now. So
Hey, halfway
just
there.
yeah, just taking it day by
Breathing on
day.
a prayer. Day by
Yeah,
day. That's all
man.
you can do.
Yeah, just taking it day by. I'm making sure I'm silencing every. Uh, yeah, all my stuff's on mute. Phones is on vibrate. Stormy is fed and sleep.
We're not gonna hear any meow in the
You might.
background.
Might. You get some hang time there, man.
Oh yeah, boy. Look at me.
Okay. Easy, breezy, beautiful
Right.
cover nigga.
All right. Beautiful satanic motherfucker. Like, just start playing metal.
Yeah, man.
Man, that's what's up, man. Is it freshly shaved or does the hair grow back a bit?
We talking about what? We talking about
Your
what?
head,
Oh,
your
my
scalp.
head. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
nah, man. Man, I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, until
You're not trying to go back to that barber anymore.
well, all right. So I made the mistake of going to the on base barber, and she um she was cutting my hair. I was like, yo, I'm not gonna get like a fade or nothing like that until I get to my next duty station and find a black barber that I can go to consistently. So I went to, the on base joint, and she cut my hair, and she was like, "You want to line up?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was just like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh hell no!" Like she just did it in one fell swoop. Like
That's a hate crime.
she was like, "No." At first, she was like, eh, eh, "Okay, you're done." And I was just like, "All right, man."
I'm
You know,
Mountie.
I have nobody to impress here, so I'm just keeping it
Right, I
low.
know, right? Yeah, you're a married man, so you can get away with stuff like that,
Yeah.
just
Hmm.
man. So any big projects coming up, man, or y'all just chilling to the next one, to the final one?
We're right now we're doing another 14 days of this like big group project. They call it a scenario, where they are like, all right, you're acting as though you are a public affairs team, and we're gonna throw situations at you, and we determine how you react. We're gonna interview you randomly on the spot about random shit. We're gonna say, hey, guess what? An explosion just happened somewhere. So how are you gonna push out that information? And then they'll grade you about, from that. So yeah.
Oh, wait,
Yep.
wait, hold on. I thought I saw something. I'm gonna figure out how these people title their lives before they go. Um, anyway, that's old Grandpa me. Oh,
Yeah.
moving the camera again. Gosh darn it, Marcus.
I
Anyway,
got it.
it's like 7:59. I guess we could start a bit early. I
Yeah.
was hoping some people would come in, but fuck it. If they missed the jet, they missed the jet. Anyway, we're
That's
here
fine.
with Royal Banks, husband, author, uh, army soldier, investor,
That's it. That's
entrepreneur.
all. Yeah. Hey,
Like,
you know.
he also sells DNA testing, everybody.
Yeah. We can talk about
And
it if you
mobile
want to.
homes.
But
But
yeah.
no, I
Well,
mean, I'm just
yeah.
listing all your feats. I mean, Royal James Banks. By the way, folks, little did you know, One Way is not the only book he's written. He's also written an ebook about
Public speaking.
public speaking,
Yeah.
which he's a good orator, as you guys are about to see. And which I also didn't know, which you probably did if you watched Soul of a Writer, he's also a playwright. Yeah,
Yeah.
he wrote
Damn.
a
Yeah.
play, and one of his friends performed it. And I didn't get to see it, but I did read it. But I heard the audience was amazed.
Yeah. That was a while ago. That was like 15 years ago, man. Like high school, like 10th grade. But yeah, we could. Yeah, if you want, we could talk about that if you want. But yeah, man. Yeah.
And you know what? Speaking of high school, fans of One Way, did you guys know that he's been writing this book since high school, and he finally put his foot down and
Yeah.
finished it? So this is a very interesting question. So follow me here, okay?
Yeah.
Now, let's say if you'd have just stuck with it back when you was in high school, right, and you just finished it.
Yeah.
How different do you think that book would be from today? Because obviously, today you got like the date you wrote One Way, you finished One Way, you had all these different experiences. So
Yeah.
like I don't know, like do you think like if you would have like sped through One Way back when you was in high school, it probably would have been like a crock of shit or something like that, or not even like a crock of shit, but like maybe just like I didn't know the things that I knew now. So in a way, maybe me taking this long made it better.
Yeah. I think number one, I think that is true. Taking a little bit longer, um, and getting and maturing a bit. I think it would have been just it would have taken a long time to end. Like this time, this go around when I did it, I decided it will be a trilogy and I will release it in three separate books instead of it being originally it was just going to be one long ass book, and it was heavily influenced, by Slender Man and gosh, I can't think of like Lord of the Rings because it was different, you
Mm-hmm.
know, action scenes with different swords and matching swords and Harry Potter and all this type of stuff that I was kind of pulling from, all this inspiration, and it was just raw energy and it
Yeah.
wasn't as focused. So
Mm.
as I got a little bit older, I was able to write with a little bit more focus, and that helped. Yeah,
Yeah, so you had a more organized like mindset, so you was able to
yeah,
actually get a good narrative going.
yeah, for
So
sure.
what? Well, I'm pretty sure you asked a lot of authors yourself this question on his podcast, Soul of a Writer. Um, what inspired like this narrative plus this universe? Like what was going through your head when you
Yeah.
was 15 or whatever?
Yeah, man. 15, shortly after my parents got divorced, I would go back and forth between my stepfather's house and my mom's house. And one day I think I was just at my stepdad's house, and I was our old house that we moved out of, and I was just walking around the neighborhood. It was fall, just walking around, and there was woods, all in my backyard. And I was just thinking, I was like, man, I'd be crazy if like you went in those woods and you just couldn't come back out. Like that's just what I was thinking.
All right.
And yeah, I just thought of the one way sign, like the street sign, one way. And I was like, man, one way. And there you go. I just went back to my mom's house and I just got on the computer and just started typing, boom, typing, 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 typing. And the story just came out. I didn't even write an outline or nothing.
Right.
And that's what inspired it. Yeah.
Good case. You was just walking down your neighborhood and you saw like some creepy, mystical looking forest, and you're like, what if no one
Yeah.
can get out?
Yeah.
So now one of the things I appreciate, and we've talked about this plenty of times. Uh, One of the things I appreciate about the main character, Jabari, he's not like Billy Badass, who's got
Yeah.
like 300 confirmed kills in the Marines
Yeah.
and he's
Yeah.
retired. He's just your typical guy, man, alcoholic, you know, bad with money, but obviously because of grief. You know,
Yeah.
like, and, you
Yeah.
know, like I like the part is like, you know, like what my military friends call it, but which you're actually a military guy, but still, like you
Yeah.
made like what was there like a special reason why you wanted to make him like so normal? Like, why didn't you
You
make
know,
Blade
what's
basically?
what's what's truly scary in fiction horror, that I think is when you have a character that where that shit can happen to anybody. That's like when you see something horrifying, or even in real life when you see fucked up things happening to people, and you think that literally could have been me. Because I'm just your average guy just walking around.
Hmm.
That's what makes it terrifying. You're more able to put yourself in that person's shoes. So he's just an average guy. He was an average dad. I mean, I can go into the actual plot if you want me to, but
I
um,
mean, as much as you would like to go, I don't,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, I don't
no,
want to spoil
sure.
the audience or anything, but yeah, go, you
No,
can,
you're good. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it, but I don't want to have people be like, "What the hell is he talking about?" But
right.
in the story, One Way, my character Jabari Brooks, he was a married man with a daughter named Eden, and he, he had these woods in the back of his house that he never liked too much, and he always tell his daughter, "Don't go in those woods." And one day she goes in and doesn't return. And, the police, they question him, they harass him, the news harasses him, all this other stuff. They accuse him of murdering her. And he falls into an extremely deep depression, alcoholism, etc. Divorces, he and his wife divorce. And, after that bout of depression, one day he decides, he's like, I'm going to go in those woods and at least try to recover her body and look for her, because I was just always uneasy about those woods. I never went in. And when he goes in, he realizes, when he turns around, that he can't get back out. He's trapped in there. And there is only one way to get back out those woods.
He
So,
said he said the title of the book. Everybody, oh,
yeah,
no,
for
I'm just kidding.
sure. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, like, but just going back to, like I said, like not being Frank Castle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you're
Yeah.
not the equalizer. You're just regular
Average dude,
nigga.
man. And when it's basically, what would happen to the average person when their fear and their mind and their adrenaline is pushed to the absolute limits. When you can more easily put yourself in that situation than you can of a Frank Castle or Equalizer or some super Billy badass guy. So you can resonate with that more.
Right? Because like, we, me and you, we watch like an action film or something like that, and we'll see the guy do like some really cool stuff. My glasses are crooked, but we think like, I ain't gonna lie, my nigga, I'd have just got sprayed the fuck up. Like,
Yeah, yeah, man, yeah, and that's what as you read the story, as you listen to the story, because it's an audiobook too. You will think that, like, holy shit, what would I do in this situation? And as it gets deeper into the story, you continue to think that.
yeah, because going off track a bit, but that's what makes that movie Strangers such a scary movie to me.
Yes, yes,
Because what if I'm
yes,
just chilling and like a group of
yes,
crazy white people just because they wanted to
yeah,
ruins my life and ends it like,
yeah,
ah,
yeah, yeah,
scary. But
yeah.
I do want to ask how how much of yourself and people that when it goes into your characters, like, do you borrow a lot from real life, or I mean, like, your personal life, or do you, it might be something from media that you might have seen?
You know, at least with the main character Jabari, I guess you could say he would be the darkest part of me. Like his depression, his anxiety, and all that stuff would be me if I were to lose everything. That's how I would feel. I would
Mm,
probably go into if I were to lose completely everything.
right.
I mean, realistically, I would try to seek help. But if I or any other average guy were to lose everything, he would probably go into an extreme bout of depression and anxiety and hallucinations and dreams and cutting himself off from his family. So I guess you could say is probably borrowed a little bit from myself. Some of the the other characters, like originally when I originally wrote them when I was 15, I just wrote them as just characters. They were just
Mm.
characters, you
Oh,
know.
okay.
And over time, as I matured and got to understand a little bit more about manhood and about deeper into humanity, then I was able to kind of tweak those characters and make
Mm.
them a little bit more relatable.
Now I'm not gonna lie. Well, never mind. This might be a spoiler. Darn. Well, there's a character on there who I assume to be a white kid.
Yeah.
But I was surprised when I heard Freeform Locks. I was like, "Excuse
Yeah.
me, with
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
name
Yeah.
like that." Okay.
Originally he was a white kid. Originally he was. And I changed it up a little bit. Actually, all my characters are black except for one. And I
And
intend to keep it that way.
and why and why do you got to be so political, you SJW cuck? I mean, why? What's up
Well,
with this
so
like all black cast? You race
yeah,
baiter.
yeah. Shameless plug on my podcast. Shameless plug on my podcast, Soul of a Writer. I had a guest recently named Milton Davis. He's very well
Mm-hmm.
known in the Black independent comic book world and graphic novel world. And he said the same thing. Why, somebody asked him, why are all your characters black? And he said, because I'm black. Like my readers are black and they want to see themselves in these books. So that's why. Like, and I want to write stories with black people that are not rooted in struggle or like
Slavery.
the basis is not slavery. The basis is not struggle. Look, praise be to the ancestors. Seriously, like I'm not going to deny that. Like I wouldn't know what I would have. I don't know what I would have done if I were a slave. Okay, got it.
Oh, for sure. Hell no.
Horrible shit. Got it. But our art is a reflection of our experiences for sure. But it can also be just. It doesn't have to be that way. It could just be a regular guy going through some regular crazy shit that can happen to anybody. He just
Mm-hmm.
so happens to be a black man, and he gets into some wild ass situation.
But see, now you done got all political now. See, it's like first you start seeing them all over the TV, and next thing you know, they're fucking my daughter in front of me. I
Oh God.
don't, but no, I mean, you make a good point there. I mean, we want to see ourselves as more than just chattel slaves. We want to see ourselves as more than just that strong political figure who just gets shot in the face. But
Yeah. Yeah.
but I will say, fuck, I lost it. Where is it? Well, I'll get that question back later.
You all good, bro.
Anywho, anyway, about this representation, there it is. I found it again. I don't know if you watched the Malcolm and Marie movie yet, but there was one of the scenes where the character Malcolm is complaining because he says, "Hey, I wrote this movie to just be a movie about a regular nigga."
Yeah.
And this white woman trying to flex her bachelor's degree at me wanted to make it racial. Bitch, I didn't intend to make that racial. So do you think like when One Way blows up, like do you think like some woke like white critic might just be like, oh yeah, I could see the struggle, and you'd be like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? I
Yeah,
just want
probably.
to
You know what I'm saying? Probably, but like I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like I wrote my book. Like how are you gonna tell me what you think my
right.
book should be about? Like I can understand if you interpret a certain way,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they just
you know.
interpret it like that, but you're just like, I was
Yeah,
just writing about
I
a
was writing it.
spooky
Cool.
forest,
But no,
you
that's
know.
that's that's the thing. What I want, it would be a blessing for my book to get to a point where I have thousands or millions of people interpreting in a certain way. Please go ahead. Art is up to an interpretation.
For
But if you
sure.
try to tell me what my book is about and what it should be about and how I should write from now on, fuck off.
Hey, there we go. Hey, fuck off. You heard it live. The most poetic words ever. Anywho, hey, you know what? More artists need to learn how to tell people to fuck off. And Astute Cool wants to know who's this trolling ass host. Well, this trolling ass host is Marcus Offit, aka the most known bastard, aka MKB, aka Tenzin. Which not enough people call me Tenzin, but my friend Diana does. So
Low key,
make sure you
the
show.
other day I was gonna text you and I was typing your name, and I typed in Tins. I was about to type in Tins and lives, and I was like, that's not. Yeah, but
So I'm gonna go back a bit. I'm gonna rewind a bit. Who are your favorite authors and creatives? Who would you say was like a big inspiration to you? Like,
man, you know me, dude. I love. He's not an author technically, but Christopher Nolan. Like I love
Mm.
Christopher Nolan, all his films. You already know Interstellar is one of my favorite films. Like I'm not even gonna fake the
Interstellar.
funk. Yeah, I know, right? I'm not gonna fake the funk and say that I am. I used to be a very well read person. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I am not
So
as
was
much
I.
anymore, and that's why that's why I have the podcast where I interview writers so I can get to know more of their works. I will say Mr. Robert Jeffrey has written some dope ass comics. Check him out. Route 3 is a great, he's a modern day black indie comic book writer.
Yeah, I still got to
Um,
check out his Jon Stewart work.
yeah, it's really dope. But just as I love Christopher Nolan's movies, pretty much all of them. Um, I'm trying to think of other folks. You kind of put me on the spot here of just other art that I really enjoy. Old Spike Lee, old
Oh,
John
or
Singleton.
yeah.
I'm more into like movies.
Hmm.
And if you want to count artists, if you want to count musicians, if you want to count
Yeah,
those two, they're creators, right?
yeah.
So you know me, Nas, old, Immortal Technique.
Ah, man. And
Yeah,
they're good storytellers, like,
Oh man,
especially Immortal
hell,
Technique.
yeah.
Holy shit.
You got to think about it, man. Like "Dance the Devil" by Mortal Technique. That was the first storytelling rap song that like I was there. Like when he said that, I believe that shit happened, and
Right.
I was there when
I
he
still
told
think it
the
happened.
yeah. Like I pictured myself in that situation, and I was just like, wow, man, that is a hell of a story. So um, I don't read as much as I used to. Some of the books that I did enjoy when I did read a lot, shame on me. A Lesson Before Dying. Um, I forgot who wrote it. There is a very sad story. Shantaram by
Mm.
Gregory David Roberts, I believe. Epic story of a guy who escapes prison in Australia and eventually gets involved with the Indian mafia. It is based off a true story and it's crazy as shit.
Mm.
um, Wild story, and I'm trying to think of Man Child in the Promised Land by I think his name is Clyde. Oh gosh, why did I forget his name? Claude Robinson or Claude. I forgot his name. Those three books were at
Okay.
least books that changed my life.
Okay. Bet. And you know what? Yes. And speaking to your point with the musicians, yeah. I mean, you can use, of course. I mean, like any artist and creative, because
Sure.
speaking to your point that you said with Mortal, I said this a lot. Uh, David Banner, like, I
Yeah.
am not from Mississippi. I am not from an impoverished place at all.
Yeah.
But listening to that Mississippi album, I felt his anger. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
way he was able to communicate it, in which like you're very good at, and like even back then you had like very good imagery.
Mm,
Like I
yeah.
remember when I read like one of your first drafts. I was like, man, he writes like the artist that I read. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Appreciate it, man.
So, but being able to hear one way with your descriptive tones and the well chosen sound effects,
Yeah.
yeah, like
Thank you.
you would think that you was in that forest, like,
Yeah.
and shout out to your voice actors, by the way, and what's their names again?
Von Dexter, Mike Montague II, and Nakia
Jesus
Renee.
Christ, hold on, say that first one again.
Von Dexter,
Montague.
Von
I know how you,
Von
Von Dexter Montague.
Yeah, Montague. Von and Nakia. Come on, man.
I know. He just
Shout out to
sounds like your
them.
typical like rich kid, like Von Dexter Montague. Nah,
Yeah,
anyway, but
Von's super talented, man. Like
yeah,
Von is super talented.
yeah,
Um,
because at first I wasn't like that first clip you showed, like, well, but yeah, when I heard the whole thing, I was like, okay, yeah, he definitely got some range,
yeah,
and
yeah,
Nakia, I really loved her performances, Eden and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Nakia's great.
Yeah, even Brandon's like, that's a hell of a name, but I, you know, I'm kind of jumping ahead a bit.
You good, man? Yeah, let it flow.
In the I guess like in upcoming, like the next two books, like will we get any storyline maybe like from the outside world? Like will we will we get to know Jabari's ex-wife or anything like that?
That is an interesting perspective that I have not considered. I
Okay.
haven't considered that. I was thinking of it all to be
Oh, just in that world.
in
Okay.
that world. Yeah.
Well, don't let me affect you. I was just asking.
No, don't no. I mean, I'm still in the process of writing it, and to be honest, as a writer, man, you go through these slumps. Like when I wrote One Way, after 15 years, I wrote it between I think October and November of 2020. I just had like this super creative stint, and every night after I got out of military training class, I would go home and just type on the book, man, just super excited. I finished it,
Excuse
got
me.
it out, boom, 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 started writing the second book, and then it just dropped off. Like my
Mm.
creative juices have just, so it's kind of, but you can't force it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't try to force to get a book out of you. But I think sometimes you have to push, you can't force it, but you have to push yourself through it, push yourself through that slump. So all that to say, I have not considered um, the back in the regular world in the book, and for those of you who pick up the book and check it out, you'll know what I'm talking about.
You
I
have no
considered it all
excuse
to
because
be,
it's free. Okay.
yeah, the ebook is free and the audiobook's like $5. And, get the audiobook. The audiobook is the shit. Trust me, it's way better. I mean, the ebook is dope, but the audiobook is the shit.
Yeah, you can listen to it on your way to work, especially if it's like really early and just creep
Ain't
yourself
nobody got
out.
time. Hey man, people, we're always moving. People, I mean, I guess folks got time to scroll through the ebook stuff, but the audiobook is
Yeah, that's what
is
I mean.
is
Just listen
just
to it at work, on your way to work. It's whatever. Um,
it's 55 minutes.
right, exactly. Uh, so, well, anyhow, I was gonna say, who are your favorite black characters?
In stories
Anything,
and in fiction and anything.
anything. Yeah. Well,
Oh
in fiction,
man,
obviously, fiction.
yeah,
Black.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, obviously that's an obvious.
Because I mean, hey,
Oh,
that Ricky Ross is a character in me. Oh, anyway, come on. First one that
jeez,
comes
man.
ahead.
Yeah, the first one I don't know why. I don't know why. The first one that came to my mind was the kid from Dope. That movie Dope, who eventually got a hold of the Bitcoin. I don't know. I haven't seen that movie in a minute, but the first
Right. Yeah.
the first one that came to mind was the kid from Dope. Golly, you keep putting me on the spot with these excellent questions that I'm trying to think of. Because we
You
talk about this
think
stuff
my
on the phone all the time.
you think my questions are excellent?
No, they're good. They're really good questions, man. I was not
Alright.
expecting that. I might have to circle back around to that one because all of a sudden I'm drawing a blank, which is
Oh
sad and
man, most
ironic.
most most people just say Virgil real quick, or
Oh yeah.
Morpheus, but
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah,
Morpheus is definitely, um, Morpheus was definitely the shit. I will say that. I will say that. All right. So like, this is fictional, but it's not fantastical fictional. I liked. He's actually the same actor for two different shows and movies.
mm.
My man, God, why'd I forget his name? He was in Moonlight, and he was the
Oh,
mentor.
Mahershala.
Mahershala, my man Mahershala in Moonlight, and my man Mahershala in Rami.
Oh,
I loved his
Rami.
character in Rami.
Uh, Astute said, "Don't front on Ebon."
Don't front on him. Nah,
Oh man, yeah, he
shout
was
out to
dope
Static
on
Shock too.
Rami.
Yeah, Mahershala's character in Rami, because he just had the patience of a wise, imam,
Until that
but
patience broke.
yeah, until that patience broke, it's like, fuck you, Rami, fuck you, you
You
little
little
boy,
fuck,
like
you little
to
fucking boy. I was like,
yeah,
oh
you
shit,
know,
right.
to see that character lose his shit after a whole season of the main character just being a shit bag, and Mahershala's character had that patience,
Yeah,
that patience, and to see
Mahershala
him
was
break.
dope, and Brandon made a good point. Mahershala was definitely dope on the first season of Luke Cage.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 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 for sure. I'm I like actually I actually just like Murder because he was dope in Moonlight too.
I have not watched that movie yet.
It's a good movie. Check it out. Don't
All
don't
right.
don't be a fucking weirdo, bro. Watch the fucking movie.
I mean,
It's
I've
a good
watched
movie.
weirder things. It's just I don't know. I just yeah, and it's weird, right? Like going back to what we were saying. Granted, there is some trauma in that movie, but that's
Yeah,
like a slice
yeah,
of life kind of a movie. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So I can't even
yeah.
watch. You know, I can't even take the time out to watch a slice of life kind of
Hey
movie.
man, another one of my favorite characters is fucking Django, man. I love Django.
Django.
You know, shout out to Django. You know, when I saw the trailer for that movie, I immediately gotta watch that. That shit looks so dope. Sticking it to the man.
Yeah, he's gonna be interesting as well. What did he say? He was
Yeah.
good in Rami. The black guy in the second most recent episode of Euphoria is like that. Oh yeah, yeah. That's you should check out Euphoria, Royal. That's like Rue's like sponsor, I guess. I don't know. Like they're accountability buddies,
Okay.
basically.
Okay. Okay. Dope. Dope.
And you know, and speaking of, well, since we got a Stu Cool in here, I might as well. Hey, which one of if you guys recognize one of Mr. October's beats is used on Soul of a Writer podcast, and let us talk
Yes.
about Soul of a Writer. Obviously, it features music from a local musician,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
October, aka Astute Cool, but also
Yes, sir.
you talk to black authors.
Yeah.
And what made you want to start this podcast?
Man, you know, at the time when I was going through well, I'm not gonna say at the time when I was going through, but when I was writing One Way, you know, I was having my creative stint, the creative juices were flowing, and I wanted to find a podcast where there were black authors interviewing other black authors, indie authors, you know, not the super high up folks that were signed, you know, to these publishing houses, but the little guys. And at the time, I couldn't find one. There are a few out there now now that I've started to meet these other folks and interview with them. But I couldn't find one, you know, so I created it. That's it. I couldn't find it, so I created it. That's the entrepreneurial spirit in me.
See, folks, look, and you know when people always be like, "Oh my God, I want more black fairies. Oh my God, I want more black whatever the fucks." Hey,
Create them.
pick up a goddamn pen. All right. Anyway,
Make it. Mm-hmm.
there we go. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
it's very dope what you're doing. Obviously, you giving the spotlight to a whole bunch of like impressive,
Black indie
brilliant
creators, man. Yeah,
indie
man. Like
creators. Like, and I'm not gonna lie,
that's
that first guest you had, like, I'm sorry, whoever you are, cause I definitely follow you and you follow me back, but you sound like you're very talented.
oh,
Blown about.
come on, man.
But anyway,
Just DM her, bro. Come on, man. Just DM her, bro. If you
but
don't talk
anyway,
like that.
hey, let me be a character. God damn. People never want to let me get my funny out. But no, I mean, I the few pictures I've seen of her, I'm like, yeah, she's fuckable. But anywho,
I'm not even gonna comment on that, bro.
I know. But anyway, but yeah, but shout out, but that was one of my favorite interviews because I could hear the love that she had for writing.
Yes, 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 yes.
You know,
You know,
and I could tell how excited she was to be able to talk about her work with somebody who
yes,
also an
yes.
author and just was generally interested in what she had to say.
Yeah, she was a great first guest. Very excited about her work, and she's since then actually created an anthology that features other writers' works as well. And that's you know, if you're a writer and you kind of want to start to get noticed a little bit, you want to try to apply to some of these anthologies. So she created that, you know, independent, man, like completely indie.
See what happens when you just pick up a pen and just create.
Just
Get
do
off of
it.
Twitter. Stop complaining. Anyway.
So I appreciate her for coming on and being the first guest, man, like for sure.
There was a joke there I'm not gonna say because I would sound like a 12-year-old. But yeah, man, I definitely enjoyed the Robert K. Jeffrey, and I just realized how even more sexist I sound because I can't even remember her name. I just said all this shit. But anyway, but yeah, the Robert K. Jeffries was definitely my favorite interview to listen to, and I still have to listen to your Francois interview, but
Yeah, Francois was
but
a great one.
but how is it though being able to talk to all these different creatives and like obviously you got introduced to more works, right? Just because, just off the strength, and
Yeah, it's fun, man. I mean, just like how you are talking to other creatives, essentially that's what you're doing, and you just getting to know them more and let them tell their stories, and that's just the fun part. It's fun to me. Um, hearing how they got inspired, what they're doing now, and what they intend to do. I just like to let them talk and just let them have a platform. They don't have other than that, you know. I'm not going to say I'm the only guy doing this, but generally, these authors don't have access to platforms like that. So I created one and let them get their voice out, you know, and hopefully in the future I'll have lots of downloads and listeners.
Yeah, and you know, and I learned a lot too. Um, you know, going back to the poor woman that I said those horrid things about. I did not know. Well, I did know about it, but I didn't know it was like a huge deal for books to have trailers. Like I heard about comic books
Yeah,
having trailers, but like actual
yeah.
novels, get the fuck out of here. There's no
I
pictures in
didn't
it
know
anyway.
that. I,
But
I didn't know that
yeah,
either, man. I didn't know that either. And you know me, man. Like, I'm not gonna try to pretend like I'm some like phony fucking like, oh, I love the arts and books all the time, and like, no, man. Like, you know, I have that creative spirit in me, but you know, I honestly I'm not dabbled in everything, you know. So I
yeah,
did not know that there were book trailers either. And she created the first book trailer I ever saw. I was like, what they do that? It was like, yeah.
yeah.
You want
That's
me to
what I
create one
said.
for you? I was like, oh shit, like yeah, okay, like you do that.
Yeah, like
So yeah, you're
yeah. 'Cause
right.
I watched one of the trailers she posted on her page. I was like, get the fuck out of here. There's people who like books that much.
That is,
You know?
man, there's a huge market for that stuff, man. There is a
Yeah.
huge market. So I learned from and that's another thing. That's why I love to do. I learned something from my guests. Every episode I learn something new. And I tuck it in my back pocket. Like, all right, I'm going to use that later. So it's a learning experience for myself.
Mm, interesting. So like has there been guests that like given like you know like maybe gave their routines or just like talk about kind of like how they do things and you ever just play around like you know what that could probably work if I tried it you know
Yeah. So I had a guest named Soleil Divine, and she was my first like true entrepreneur guest. And I actually talked to her from time to time, even after the podcast. And I introduced her to a business concept, and she was like, "You know what? I might make ads and put them into my books because they relate to what people are going through. Like that, the
mm.
business concept that you introduced me to, Royal. I might put that in because she sells the urban erotica and urban fiction books. So
Ooh.
I introduced her to the business of paternity testing, and she was like, "I'm going to create an ad, put those in my books that link it to my business, and
Hey
I'm my own. It's vertically integrated." And I was like, "Huh,
dude
huh."
you know how many potential customers you might get like especially if she's like a popular with the erotica so you might
Yeah,
get hey man
she's written like hundred plus books, man. Like
$100
crushing it, dude, crushing it. Like she's building almost like her own little kind of empire, like you know, on an independent level. And so yeah, like putting your own business's advertisements in your but there's no rules that say you can't do that, you know?
right no there
So
isn't hey
I learned some shit. I was like, oh, let me take a note on that. Like, damn, that's crazy.
Hey, look at y'all. See, so yeah, so obviously, you know, being a creative, you have to be creative with everything, whether it be your
Yeah.
story, the way you sell yourself, the way you sell your product. So you guys are on to something, man. I
Yeah,
see
man.
it. I see it. I mean, and also it's so appropriate. You know,
Yeah.
erotica, then, you know,
Yeah.
paternity testing? Shit.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Yeah.
brother, I was reading this book, and yeah, man, you can.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty damn genius. I never heard nothing like that before. So, you know, normally you got folks bringing in other advertisers, but
Mhm.
she was like, I'm gonna advertise my own shit. And I was like, fair enough.
Shit, I wonder.
Got it.
I mean, even though we all press skip anyway, I wonder if she can like make a deal with Pornhub and just be like, "Hey, man, advertise one of my books on your little trailer." You know what I mean? Like I said, we all press skip anyway, but fuck it. I mean, they'll at least see the book cover. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Even on YouTube, I'm not gonna, you know, but even on YouTube, there are people who don't press skip and eventually buy the product. Or you see it over and over again, and in the back of your
Right.
mind, you're thinking, well, I really want this fucking spatula that can do this, and you buy it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah, because one of
it
those
is,
Facebook ads, like, I know the jingle now, so it's like, thanks.
yeah, exactly, exactly, yeah.
so, RJB, what was it like? I guess that's a typical question. I'm sorry, but
Sure,
what was it
man.
like just growing up, like you know, being so starved for representation, because I don't know if it was the same at your middle school, but we were so starved for representation that green
Yeah,
alien voiced by a white dude was black to us because we wanted somebody, god damn it, and
yeah, yeah,
hip hop
yeah,
keto was just lame.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you know, I keep trying to do shameless plugs, man, but uh,
It's
I
not
was, I was,
shameless.
yeah, co-host on first time co-host, friend of mine, Bradley. He came onto the show for the last
Whoop
interview.
whoop, Bradley Goodlow. All right, let's get
Yeah,
it.
and he made a really good point. He said, you know, when I was younger, you know, essentially, you when you saw a black character in a book or a movie or something like that, you're like, oh shit, he's black. I gotta watch this because it's a black character. Now there is such a richness of representation of black people and character in stories and movies and everything now, where you can pick and choose what you want to watch. You don't have to be like, oh shit,
Mm-hmm.
he's black, I gotta watch it. You could be like, yeah, I see, I tracking there's black folks in this one, but
Mm-hmm.
I kind of don't. There, Malcolm and Marie may not be a fit for everybody,
Right.
but Lovecraft Country is something else that somebody
Yeah.
may want to watch.
Or some
You
Tyler
know,
Perry shit.
or
Yeah.
some Tyler, exactly, 100%, or some Tyler Perry stuff. So you have such a choice now, based on this representation nowadays, that you can pick and choose what you want, and that's a beautiful thing to be able to pick and choose what you want to watch with the folks that look like us that are in it. You know, so I guess that's my answer to that
Hey.
question.
Hey, Keenan now has his own epi eponymous. Oh, fuck
What?
you, AJ. Whatever the fuck that says. Eponymous? Epon eponymous? Yeah, I
I
get.
can't even see the comments, so I don't even
Oh, I
know.
thought you could see him too, but yeah, I
Nah.
guess it's eponymous sitcom. I don't know. I don't
Oh, you
know.
said Keenan.
Yeah, yeah, it's Keenan
Yeah.
Thompson.
Keenan has his own he has his own sitcom coming out pretty shortly. Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Keenan, man.
I ain't gonna watch it, but hey, shout out to him though. I might watch it.
So that's what
Right,
I'm saying.
exactly.
Like you don't
Yeah,
have to you don't have to be like you don't have to feel obligated because he's a black character. You can
exactly.
choose not to, and Keenan would do just fucking fine without us two
Right,
assholes watching his
exactly.
show. Okay.
He got that white people money now. But
Yeah, he got that TV money. He's good.
yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, man. Like growing up watching Wayne Head or whatever the fuck, I used to be
Yeah.
like, yo, this kid creeps me out. Like he has one leg. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with his arm. Why is his
Yeah.
head so big? Ew.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
luckily Susie Carmichael came out, so I was like, okay. Oh
Yeah.
God. Disgusting. Like I started
Ooh,
like
shit.
I could not watch that fucking show without like throwing up in my mouth. I was like, this kid
You a
looks fucking
trip. He did look kind of weird. I ain't gonna lie.
see.
Yeah.
Don't feed the freak, goddamn.
Yeah. He did look kind of weird.
I'm sorry, folks, if there are actual fans of Wayne Head, I don't mean that.
Don't be cartoon ableist, bro.
I know, right? Oh man, it's good doing interviews with like people that are friends, but like I do get off track just because of the banter. But anyway, we're gonna
You
I'm
good,
all
man.
over the place, but let's talk about your writing career, man, because obviously, you know, like most English majors, what did you have to do to get by? You wrote for people. What was that like?
I would not confirm nor deny that. I
Yeah.
guess
You
it's yeah.
allegedly wrote for
I would
people
not confirm nor deny
in
that.
video games.
Yeah, people sought my help. You know,
Yeah,
and I would advise them on how to structure their essays,
advice.
structure
Good.
their sentences, you know, things of that nature. And it would help them literally pass their classes, you know, just based on me advising and me tutoring them throughout college, man. So just kind of flexing that muscle, the you know, I was about to say the grammatic muscle. I guess AJ would probably correct me on that, on the usage of that word, but
I know, right?
flexing that muscle, you know, in college helped a lot, you know, with just my sentence structure and my writing.
Okay, good. And it definitely helped you hone your skills, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And also too, I mean, you know, like this is a bit awe moment, but you help your mom write things too, right? For her websites and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think you did like freelance writing for like a tiny bit,
I
correct?
did, man, dude. I did freelance writing in 2012 for Elance. Now it's Upwork. Upwork bought Elance, but the first, you know, I got a check from those from them for like $10, dude, like for writing an article or something. Like that's back when they mailed out checks. Now they do the
Yeah.
just deposits into your
Yeah,
account or
direct
whatnot.
deposit.
But that felt good to be able to
Right.
use my mind to make money
See,
instead of just physically working
and
my ass off.
I wanted to, and which you already kind of answered that, but yeah, what's that like? Just like, yo, I got paid to write, like, like by a
Yeah.
company, like, yo, like I'm officially a professional writer in this bitch, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good feeling, man. Like, when I first released the book and was marketing it. And by the way, man, when you write a book, dude, be prepared to lose money on that. Like you're not gonna be a best-selling Toni Morrison author. You're
Oh,
not.
oh
You're
yeah,
not.
it's just
Okay.
like music, bro. You're gonna sink a lot of
Yeah,
money into
yeah.
that
You're gonna
mother.
sink a lot of money, a lot of
Hey,
investment. But
hey,
if you love it, then it's cool.
and I love the on your podcast, I love the come on,
You got it.
the connections you make. There we go.
Okay.
The connections you make between being an author and the music game, because
Yeah,
obviously
yeah,
you're a hip
yeah,
hop head, so
yeah.
you know the hustle in that. So
Sometimes the rap game is kind of like the writing game. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Yeah, for sure.
do you ever do you ever just like instill your inner Nipsey when you're like thinking about, okay, how am I gonna market this chapter? What color do
Yeah,
I use for that? You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
How do I
Absolutely. I mean,
distribute it?
distribution, dude. I would literally listen to, either Victory Lap or Mailbox Money when I was doing the marketing portion of it. Like when I'm writing, I'm listening to, when I was writing that, either creepy music or like Final Fantasy music or
Mm-hmm.
piano music or something like that. When I'm thinking of like the business aspect, I'm
Yeah,
bumping Nipsey, I'm bumping Nip, I'm bumping Money Man, because like you got to get it, you got to turn into that business marketing mode. You
yeah,
know.
play that Dolph.
That Dolph too, absolutely, 100%, man. And my guest the other day on the show, Milton Davis, he said, I said, how did you go about selling your books in the beginning? He was like, I was moving them out the trunk of my car like a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of which, Money Man just went live on Instagram. That thing just popped up for me. But
Oh
he
man, I
said
thought you were about to leave my ass from my like. Hold on.
no, 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 no. He's my guest said he was moving them out of his trunk like a rap, like 8 Ball and MJG. That's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a connection for sure.
Hey man, that's you gotta get your story out somehow, and
Yeah.
I don't know how much it'll cost to actually like table or vend. Which I mean, you're selling a book, so don't expect much. But I wonder. I mean, you
Yeah.
could definitely like once you find like a place where you're settled in, you should definitely consider going to like a con or something like that, and just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
promoting yourself. Like hell, I
Yeah.
mean, you don't even got a table. You could probably just like make yourself a T-shirt and just walk around like one
Yeah.
way. Like if you ever talk to somebody, be like, oh, by the way, I write books.
That's actually something. That's actually so like whenever COVID, whatever. Let's just say COVID goes away 50% or something like that next year, right? And I could probably walk around with a T-shirt and have snippets of the audiobook just
Mm.
ready for either QR code or just to hey, I got this audiobook or
QR
whatever,
code, see?
and or something of that nature. And then as I talk to folks, I just send them, here you go. They go straight to their phone. They can listen to it immediately, and then there's a link after that. Hey, would you like to buy it? They buy it. They immediately have it. Boom. Like no booth, low overhead. You know.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
and they can listen to it on their own time on their Bluetooth
On their
speaker,
own time.
and
Yep.
like you're
That's a
not like,
that's a
oh,
damn good idea. I haven't thought about that.
yeah,
Thank you. I'm gonna write that
yeah,
down.
yeah. Rappers should do that instead of like putting the fucking earwax filled like earbuds to your ear, and you have to pretend like you feel it, so their boys don't beat you
You
up.
like it, cuz?
You
You
know.
like it?
Hey, you like my book, man? Hey, what if you make authorship like kind of like scandalous? Like, what's that guy's name? Like the guy who wrote Great Gatsby. Like, he was kind of scandalous,
Yeah,
even though he was like an
yeah,
author.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what
yeah.
if you bring
F.
like,
Scott Fitzgerald.
yeah, like what if you bring like that jazz era shit back to the author world? Like, yo, man, author Royal Banks out here, goddamn, with Black China now. I'll
Man's
do
is
something
why,
better than
nah.
that.
I keep it low key, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just like to be wilding like on Instagram and say, yeah, nigga, I'm still writing books, nigga. You know what I'm saying, nigga, man, 100 pages, 500 pages, don't matter.
Hey, folks market themselves in any way they want. You could whatever it is to get attention, unfortunately.
Let's see. What's
That's the
Brandon
game.
saying? For sure, I've been to one con in my life, and I got hustled into buying like 8 different books from people. You can clean up for sure. Oh, okay. Well, apparently, hey, if they can shake down Brandon to get him to buy some stuff, then hey, you can clean up for sure with the QR codes.
That's a good idea. That I'm gonna have to definitely check that out for sure. For sure.
All right, man. This we're in the last 10 minutes because Instagram likes to
Like,
boot us.
let's talk
So,
about anything. We can talk about stocks. We can talk about mobile. We can talk about whatever, bro.
man,
It could be a free fire round if
you
we
know
want.
what? Oh, for sure. That's what I was planning. I mean, I can't, I don't want people to see me sweat on live television. So I'm not going to well, this ain't even TV, but, we're not going to talk about money. Okay. Like I related too well to that episode of Blackish, bro. Like when Bo started sweating, I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I'm with you, Bo. Like you
yeah.
started talking about shit. Like, look, damn it, like like come here. Like every time I be on the phone with you, like, yeah. So Marcus, man, how much assets you got, man? And look, dog, man, I'm in
Woo,
the fuck. I'm in
woo, shit.
the. If I got fired today, I'm homeless yesterday. All right, like.
Well, yeah, man. Unfortunately that's a real situation for a lot of Americans. So
Because I was
yeah,
duped by the educational system. I had fun in college, but holy fuck, I mean, yeah, you tell an 18-year-old sign this contract, okay.
get you a trade, brother.
I
That's what you
know,
gotta tell
right?
these young boys,
I
man.
learned the code.
What you trying to go to school for real, bro? Oh, I'm just trying to major in whatever. Nah, bro. You either go to the military, go get a trade, or you only go to school if you're trying
See,
to get a profession.
see, and that's what. Hey, what's up, Big John? And that's what I wish. Well, Miss Birch, man, she just wanted to. I think Georgia Perimeter was just like paying her on the low because she was sending everybody to the perimeter. But I wish, obviously, I'm old now. I can't. But obviously, back in the day, I wish like counselors were trained. Like if a kid was to say, you know what I'm saying, like what you want to go to school for, then yeah, like trades, like introduce them trades or something, or like
Yeah.
community college or military.
Trades aren't sexy, man. Trade schools aren't sexy. I mean, now that you got plumbers out here showing pay stubs, they making $160,000 a year. You know what I'm
But they've
saying, doing
been
their
making
thing.
that though,
But they've been making. That's the thing. They've been making that money, but it isn't a sexy thing. For years, especially after not after the Cold War. I'm sorry, after World War II. It was go to school. Get your degree in English, and you
right?
can
Because
work
they had
at
the
the
GI
plant.
Bill then.
Exactly. You could work at the plant for 4 years and make $10,000 a year
See,
and
and
take care of your whole fucking family. Like
and
it
that's
isn't.
when
It's not like that no more. You can't do that.
exactly. It's like, and that's the thing. Like we were trained for that life, but it doesn't
Yeah,
exist. Like,
don't
yeah,
exist, homie.
like yeah, back in those days, like your son could be like a total fuck up, but you'll be like, well, shit, I can make a couple of calls. They'll hire him at the mill. You know what I'm saying? Like
And he can
nowadays,
take
like
care of a family of five,
right,
making $5,000 a year. His house costs $40,000, some stupid shit like that. But
yeah. Nowadays, you need a bachelor's degree just to be a fuck nigga. I'm like holy fuck,
bro,
like where'd it go?
it's wild. It's wild. I think honestly, if it weren't for the military, I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
I
Hey
would have
man,
been I would have been in sales or something like that. But
yeah, and and that's the thing too, man. Like, I can't knock anything no more. Like,
yeah,
like OnlyFans and whatever. I mean, dude, like we're in a capitalist society. Like, you
you got to get it how
yeah,
you live, G.
like, I used to be one of those guys. Like, oh my god, what the fuck, goddamn sugar baby. But now it's just like, yeah, hey, get it. Hey, you know what? You won the genetic lottery, do it.
Get it how you live, man. Get it how you live.
But anyway, man, what I always ask you this question like on the phone, but I guess I'm gonna put you on the spot now.
Okay.
What track? It could be any genre. What track do you wish? It could be multiple. You can name multiple. That you
Sure.
wish that you was right there in the studio when they made it
Oh
and like
man.
recorded it and mixed it up. Like what track you wish you was just there so you'd be
Yeah.
like, yo, I know this shit gonna be a hit.
I can name probably like five off the top of my head. So Devil in a New Dress by Kanye and Rick Ross. Like I wish I was
Good
in the studio
choice.
for that. Yeah, like, that shit was hard. I would say Nas's New York State of Mind Part 2.
I don't think I.
New York State of Mind Part 2 was, I mean, Illmatic, the first one, Illmatic, amazing. New York State of Mind Part 2, which was on the Nostradamus album, I think. Or it was on Nostradamus. I don't know. Anyway, but New York State of Mind Part 2. I wish I was in the studio when Frank Ocean made Pink Matter with Andre 3000. I wish I was in the studio when Currency made Showroom.
Oof. You know
I wish I was in the studio when Big Crit made What We Gonna Do Now, when Big Crit made Children of the World.
We gonna do now.
When Big Crit made Sometimes, when Big Crit made Good Together.
When
Big Crit made
Good Together.
Yeah, when Crit made Bigger Picture.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I was in the studio when
if I was there when he made the Vent, I'd have been
the Vent. Oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah. when UGK made
Murder,
Murder, when they made Tell Me Something Good. I wish I was there when the homie AJ, aka Astute Cool, made Accurate NSX.
Oh god!
Ooh, I wish I was there. Like, bro, what is going? I wish I was there when Astute Cool, aka Mr. October Productions, aka AJ, made the Beyonce joint that he has. Ah, shoot, what was that joint? Your love is bright as ever.
Yeah.
Even in this show, when he made the remix to the Rihanna joint. So like, everybody, please.
Everywhere. Yeah, I remember those. The Gautier.
Yes. Remix. Yes. When he made the Gold Skies remix.
That's a good choice, Brandon. The Gold Sky.
I was driving down the road one day, listening to that song. 2015. I was driving down the road and the sun was rising up, literally, and I was playing that song as the sun was rising, and the sun and the sky was literally gold.
Bruv.
So everybody, go check out Astute Cool. Check out his
Mr.
music.
October
Check out his
Productions.
SoundCloud. Mr. October Productions. His song, which I have called Accurate NSX, is at the very beginning of my podcast. You hear it in the first like 10 to 15 seconds. It is one of the best beats I've ever heard in my life. No shit, no cap.
He said he made that song to a sunrise.
Look at that.
You know, this is gonna sound strange, but I low-key wish I was in the studio with Nirvana when they made In Bloom.
Ooh, now if you want to go, damn, now you're going rock?
Yeah, Radiohead, any genre.
Radiohead in Rainbows. I wish I was in the studio when they made that whole shit. Especially Nude. That whole shit. I wish I was in the studio when Megadeth made Into the Lungs of Hell. When Pink Floyd made... Oh, hold on.
Careful with that X. We're at the 2-minute warning, baby. Come on. Yeah. Yes.
When Pink Floyd made this joint,
especially Any Color You Like.
I wish I was in the studio when my man made this joint.
Well, hopefully you were older than 8, but
oh god.
You can fight me, MJ fans. I don't give a fuck. Anyway,
this is a gift from the wife, by the way.
Hey, shout out to Brittany.
Yeah, shout out to the wife. But yeah, man. Hey, I enjoyed the pod. This is like I think my second ever interview and my first one where I was actually able to talk about my book and my work and all that stuff. So I appreciate you having me on your platform.
Brandon,
thank you.
Brandon said Meteora from Linkin Park. He said he was in the studio for that one.
That's definitely yeah, for sure.
Well, Royal Banks, friendo, for how many years now? Since 2006?
15? 15 years, yeah.
15 years.
Half my life. Yeah, half our life.
Dang, we were friends with each other for half our lives.
Half our lives. Literally, half our lives.
Wow.
Literally.
Well, you put it that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate you. Everybody, please download One Way, the audiobook, or the ebook. I mean, come on. It's either free or $5.
Wordvinepress.com. Follow my podcast page at Soul of a Writer Pod. Follow me at Royal Skigi. Follow my my publishing company at Wordvine Press, and go to wordvinepress.com and text the number to get the ebook for free. And then you can also get the audiobook for $5, man. It's the shit. Promise.
All right, peace out, brother.
Peace.